Hello my lovelies, happy Tuesday. I hope you're all well and everyone is okay. I am still a bit full of colds, to be honest. It's been a nasty one, this. It's been really got to me, it really has. And I don't normally, colds don't normally bother me too much because of my stupid nose and everything, I'm used to it. But, it's a nasty one. And then my husband's gone down with it as well. So, of course, he's got man flu. He's terribly ill. But never mind. I hope you all had a nice weekend. I did actually. Yeah, we got loads done actually. Got loads and loads done, which was good. Saw my little man. He was lush. Yeah, all lovely, all nice. Hi Anne, how are you, lovely? We're going to do some crochet today. We're going to do a new stitch called a thermal stitch, which I've loved doing actually. I've done a couple of little samples, and yeah, it's very different to what normal stitches are. But we'll go through all of that in a moment. What was I going to tell? Right, first thing I want to ask you guys is we have managed to secure another date to put another class on in November. The hall has had a date come up free. It doesn't often have dates. Sorry, excuse me. My eyes are very itchy today. There we go. They don't very often have dates free. So we've managed to secure another date. And we're thinking about putting another class on. So basically, I want your input. I want to know what do you want to learn? Is there something that you've seen from one of our tutorials that think, I want to come for a class for that? Is there something that you've been to a class when we had classes in the shop years and years ago that you think, oh, I fancy having a go at that? I need your input, guys. Before we put the class on, I want your input and let you guys know, let us know what you'd like to learn. Is there a technique or something? Obviously, we've got the Storm at Sea. I think there's 2 spaces left on that one coming up in September. We've got the Tuff It, which is now sold out again, coming up again in October. We've got a circular bargello, which can be made into the most beautiful circular quilt, which you could use as wall hanging or a tree skirt or a lap quilt. Or even a tablecloth, table centre. So we've got a circular bargello coming up in November, which is the end of November. I think there's 2 spaces left on that one. But we've got this new date. So basically, what would you like to learn? Is there something you've thought, do you know what? I really want to have a go at that. We thought maybe another quilt technique, or maybe a quilted jacket, but I think a lot of you have already done that. Do you fancy doing, is it blocks you want, or is it a technique you want? We've done a foundation piece in, what's the date? The 4th of November, hun. It's a Saturday. So it's the only other Saturday they've got free in November, but it's, we're like, woohoo, let's try and get another class in. So is there something that you've thought or seen and thought, I really want to have a go at that? One of our quilts that you've seen, you think, oh, I'd like to do that, or is it a technique? So let us know. Either message us. Oh, you can't do that one, Anne. Oh, sorry, babes. Well, Anne, though, you might still have an idea. Have you got an idea of something that we could do as a class? We've got some ideas, but we thought we'd ask you guys first. So that's it. We have a relatively quiet week this week in the shop, which is nice. It is after the craziness of the last month. Actually, it's relatively nice to have a normal week. No running around all over the place. We're just in the shop. Hi Cheryl, how are you, lovely? Who else is there? Let's just very quickly say hello. You're having a think. Oh, thanks, Annie. Hi Kate, hi Jean, hello my darlings. So we're gonna have a go at this, like I said, this thermal stitch today. But have a little think. Pop in the comments if there's anything you think, oh yeah, I fancy doing that. It could be, like I said, something we've done on 1 o'clock, or it could be something we've done previously on other classes, or it could be something completely new. Hi Leslie, hi Ali, hello my darlings. So I'm going to go over to the overhead, which I'm hoping is here. Hoping I've got them all right, because I've moved them around. I've dropped the camera as much as I can so that I can show you this stitch, and hopefully it'll be nice and close up for you. So this is the thermal stitch. It is incredibly thick. I don't know if you can see this on the edge, but it's very, very thick. It's actually double-sided. It's double thickness because you work into both sides of the stitch, and it creates this really, really thick texture. I've made this, like I said, I've made a couple of little samples. It's brilliant for blankets if you want a really heavy blanket. Orange peel blocks. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'll put that on the list. Lovely. You know, something like cathedral windows or something like that is something a bit different. Oh, actually, I'm just going to come back here a second. The other thing that I want to ask your opinion about as well. So, machine quilting rulers, you know, like Pars rulers and is it West something rulers, Western rulers? You know, the rulers that you use with your domestic sewing machine to create free motion patterns. So we've had Pars rulers come to us before and do classes in the shop. And they'll show you, you can have your machine out and they'll show you exactly how to use the rulers and stuff to get free motion designs and everything. Would you guys be Westley? That sounds about right, yeah. Would you guys be interested in them coming down to us if we managed to book the hall? It'll be in the new year, but managed to book the hall for a day, and it would be like a 3-hour class, morning or afternoon, and you would come and they would have rulers there you can play with and buy as well if you want, and you bring your sewing machine, so they would give you the right shank and everything for it, and then you can have they'll properly show you how to do it. So if you'd be interested in that as well, let us know. Okay. Hi Patricia, how are you? Right, anyway, back to this. I knew there was something else I was going to say to you guys. So the thermal stitch, I've done this in Chunky, this little hot pad, because I had loads of these little scrappy bits left, and these are really great for using up little tiny scrappy bits. They make brilliant hot pads because my husband actually tried this one out, because it is so thick. He was taking stuff out of the oven and he couldn't feel anything at all. You can absolutely do it in double knit. So this one I did in half trebles and did it in just some double knit, just to see what thickness again, it's really thick, but I think in double knit it would make beautifully warm scarves and bobble hats, and again blankets. Would really like that. You'd love to use the Pars rulers. Cool. Okay, yes please. Brilliant. All right, I will see if I can get a date for the new year, and then we'll have a look at booking them in. You can do this, and this is done in double crochet. This one was done in half trebles. You can do it in either. You can actually do it in trebles as well if you want, but it's not as thick in trebles. But for a scarf or a bobble hat, look at my threads everywhere. Scarf or a bobble hat, this would be exceptionally warm, but you've still got, you can see you've still got a nice drape on it. Okay, so that was, like I said, I've used the Serdar Stories, just some random bit that I had in the house in the double knit. But in the Chunky, boy is it thick. It makes brilliant hot pads. My husband's like, oh, that'd make a really nice jumper. I was like, you'd overheat. It's so bad, you'd overheat. Hi Jean, how are you? You've had some Pars rulers, you haven't used them yet. Don't know if you'd come all the way for an afternoon. Could you get them to do 1 o'clock? Possibly. They might be able to do a shared. Yes, absolutely. Hi everyone, would it be suitable for making tote bags? I don't see why not, because it'd be really chunky, and actually it's apparently really good for making straps for bags as well, because there is a bit of stretch in it, but because it's so robust, we're actually going to do the sample in a small piece, which you can make your straps out of this stitch. A lot of people use this for the straps because it is so robust. So we're going to have a little go at this today. But yeah, I think actually for tote bags, yeah, it actually would, because it would hold, because it is so robust, it would hold a lot. So I'm going to start with a real simple, now I'm hoping this camera's in the right place. Again, I'm using a 6mm hook with some of this leftover Chunky, because I'm just obviously doing it as a sample. I've got a couple more colours, so I'll probably make another hot pad. But today we're just going to do it as a strap. So I'm going to start with a slip knot and pop that on my hook. And you basically just chain whatever width you want your piece of work to be. So if you're following like a hat pattern, chain whatever your pattern says. For the hot pad, I put on 20 stitches. Okay, I'm sure, yeah, 20 stitches, and I just kept going until it was big enough to fold over so that your hands were protected taking stuff out of the oven. Okay, but it was 20 stitches wide for a hot pad. but I'm going to just put 6 on today because we're going to do a strap. Okay, so wrap my yarn and pull through. So that's 2. Wrap my yarn. Am I in the right place for you guys? Pull through. That's 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I want my strap to be that width. You add 1 more on. Okay, so 1 more. Now I watched a lot of tutorials on this, and some of them worked into the back hump here. Do you know what I mean by the back hump of the chain, that little bit at the back? Others worked into the top loop only. I preferred the top loop only. I just think it went a lot easier. So you're going to work into the second chain. So I'm going to skip that and I'm going to work into this chain here, and I'm going to insert my hook just into that top loop only. Okay, wrap, pull through, and I'm going to do this in double crochet. So I've got 2 on my hook and pull through there. All right, and then into this next one. So in, wrap, pull up, pull through 2, into that one, in, wrap, pull through 2, and just work down your chain. Now the first couple of rows of this confused the hell out of me, frankly. It's not an easy start, but once you've got the first 2 rows in, this is the first row, so this is nice and easy. The second and third one is a little bit difficult. Okay, so we're going to go in there like that and pull up into that last stitch like that. Okay, so you've got that little chain, just double crochets, nice and easy. Now the thing you're looking for now, and I'm just going to grab this other crochet hook, we're going to be working in the loop here of the row, and we're going to be working back into the other side of the chain, so these little stitches here. Okay, which is going to makes it look like this horrible little mess to start with, but it works, I promise. So we're going to chain 1 to get our height. Now we're not going to turn like that, like you would normally when you're working in rows. You're going to basically kind of keep it, you're going to turn it almost vertically like that. Okay, now normally we would turn, wouldn't we, and we'd work into both sides. If we were just doing double crochet rows, we'd work into both sides there, but you're not. You've chained 1, and I'm just going to turn it sort of vertically so that I can easily see both of these stitches. So I'm going to go into the back loop only there of the top stitch, and then I'm going to find the corresponding chain over here, all right, which is there. This is quite difficult to do away from myself, I do apologise. So I've picked up the chain stitch here and the back loop only, and then I'm going to do a double crochet. So I'm going to pull through both of them like that, wrap, pull through 2, and you think, oh, this can't be right. So if I turn it like that, you can see that this stitch is in the back loop of that one there. All right, so I'm going to go to the back loop of my next one there, next stitch, and then find the corresponding one there. This is the difficult row. Apart from this, it works out really, really well. It's this one is the one that kind of goes, oh, what? Pull through, and then finish my double crochet. Okay, there's my next stitch. So back loop only, turn it vertically, find my next stitch along, which is that one there in that chain, so the corresponding parallel one. Are you with me so far, guys? Like that. Ooh, pull up and pull through, find my next back loop there, find my corresponding one there. Once you've kind of got this one and the next row in, it actually becomes very, very obvious. Just, oh, come on, there we go. When you do those initial chains, keep them quite loose as well. Sorry, I should have said that. Pull up. Is this making sense, guys? Are you with me? Yeah? Maybe Dresden plate blocks. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, Anne. We haven't done, different ways of doing Dresdens. That would be good, because there are lots of different ways of doing Dresdens. So we could do a class all about Dresdens and all the different ways of doing it. And the very last stitch, this was the one when I was first doing it that I kept forgetting, because it's quite difficult to catch this last one. So that last back loop there, and you've really got to find it. Come on, because it is a nasty little horrible mess at the minute, but bear with me. Oh, hang on, I've caught it. There we go. Come on, hang on. Sorry, guys. There we go. Got it. And then pull through. So can you see it's kind of all curled up on itself at the moment? It doesn't look very attractive. You've got to keep going. So that's the end of that row. So I'm going to chain 1 for my height, and then we're going to do the same. So you're going to turn it. You're going to find this first back loop there, and you're going to find the corresponding one just there. Okay, can you see that there? It's just there. Okay, the first 2 rows are awkward. Okay, first 2 or 3 rows are awkward. And pull through, find the back loop there, find the corresponding one. It's because it's curling up on itself, because you're basically kind of tucking up that chain to make the double thickness. Once you've kind of got it about this long, it's a lot easier because you've got more to hold. Pull through, and then so we're going to go back loop, corresponding parallel one, pull through, back loop, corresponding one, pick up, pull through like that, and you're just going to keep going. So back one, corresponding one, and then we're back at the end again, and this is the tricky one. So you've got to kind of manipulate your fabric a little bit. Back one there, and there's my corresponding loop there. Ooh, there, and pull through. Okay, and you've got something. Can you see how thick this is becoming? All right, chain 1, and you just repeat that. So back loop, corresponding, pull through, finish the stitch. And I found it easier to keep doing this at the beginning, so that I was kind of going, right, yeah, okay, so that's the next back loop there. Where's the corresponding one? There it is. Pull through flat, but then finishing the stitch like that. It does feel odd. It does feel odd. So back loop there, corresponding one there, pull through, and pull through 2. Back loop, ooh, back loop. I've got 2 more to do. Where is it? There it is, corresponding one there. Okay, so sometimes you've got to make sure that you're not skipping one of the corresponding ones. But like I said, you've got to give it a little bit of time to grow, and then suddenly they all kind of, once they've got over this initial thickness. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Beginner crochet or idiot's guide for people like me that 3 years and don't get it. Oh right, okay, stained glass window block. Oh, that might be an idea, Karen. Yeah, actually we could do that. That's quite a nice one, because you can do lots of pretty blocks. Right, again, we've got to try and find this one. So back loop there, find it's that last stitch that, because it curls up on itself on the edge, that is a weeny bit difficult, like that. Okay. And can you see how this is becoming really, really thick and dense? It's incredibly warm. You know, if you wanted to make a weighted blanket, this is the way to go. Here we go. But it does grow quite quickly. I was a bit like, oh, this is going to take ages because it's like double thickness. But back loop, corresponding, pull through 2, back loop, corresponding, pull through. There we go. And can you see how easily that one went in? Because it's kind of starting to, find its sort of self, and they're quite easy to find. It's this one. This one is always a little tricky. So there's my back loop. So find the back loop first, find the corresponding one, through and up like that. And that's it. You just keep going. So chain 1, I'll do another couple on here, so you've got it, back loop like that. It's just about finding that back loop. So back loop, corresponding, but you can do this in any stitch. If you wanted to do this in half trebles, you can absolutely. I'll show you that in a second on the other one. And you just keep going, back loop, corresponding, back loop, corresponding. It's just, don't split your yarn. There we go. The only bit that I found tricky was finding this last one. So there's my back loop there. And there's the last bit there. Pull through. Okay. And you keep going. Okay. So this would make just ripped my nail. Make beautiful, beautiful straps. Okay. You would just keep going and going and going and making this as long as you want for your strap. So there to there. Let's just chuck another row in so you can kind of see how this grows. Right, let me try and read some comments while I'm doing this. Beginners crochet or idiot's guide. Yeah, we have been asked for crochet classes lots, Natalie. Lots and lots. We could maybe do this 4th of November as, 2 sessions. I think 6 hours of beginners crochet is actually quite a lot. So we could maybe do a morning and afternoon session. I think that was one of my plans for the new year, was to do a couple of beginners crochet classes. So again, that last one does like to hide. So it's there and there, pull through. Okay, and you just keep going. There is no pattern really, but it's, I don't know if I hold it like this. So because you're stitching in this side and that side, it's creating a double thickness. So it's double warmth, which is, my husband's like, oh yeah, I need more of these for hot pads for the kitchen, because he does all the cooking. Rarely I do the cooking, but he really liked it. He did make me laugh though. He said, I want a jumper in that. I was like, no, you would literally boil. It's so thick. But weighted blanket would be amazing for that. Absolutely weighted blanket. Your nails match your yarn. They do, don't they? That was a good choice. For scarves and stuff, I think I would probably do it in double knit, but I'll show you that now. So you just carry on. So back loop. It's a really nice one to do like in front of the TV, because there's no pattern to follow, and it would be brilliant for using up your scraps of yarn. You could just do a couple of rows in whatever you've got, because we've all got, I have all got scraps of yarn there. I think I would definitely do hot pads if you're going to use them for the kitchen in a chunky, because it is very substantial. The split my yarn. Very substantially thick, the fabric that you end up with, where, like I said, scarves, hats and everything I would do in doubles. So that's it with a double crochet. You just keep going, and it's actually a really nice little texture to it as well. It's and like I said, for straps, apparently this is used a lot for straps because of the strength of it. Could you do Tunisian crochet as a 1 p.m. live? Yes, I will. I've been talking about it for ages. It's not something I've ever done. I've watched a lot of tutorials, but I'll give it a go for you guys. Absolutely. Stained glass Christmas cards. Oh yeah, could maybe do that. That's an idea, Anne. Do little stained glass bits that you could mount onto card. Yeah. So that's the double crochet. I thought I'd just show it you as well in the half treble. So it's exactly the same. So this is with the double knit, so it might be a little harder for you to see. With the half treble, obviously you need a little bit more height, so I'm going to chain 2 with that. Okay, you're still going to find the back loop and the corresponding one underneath there, but because it's a half treble, you need to wrap first. So wrap, in, pull through all those. So you've got 3 on your hook, and then I can finish all 3. Okay, so wrap into that one there, find the corresponding one there, pull through. You're just changing the stitch basically. It's exactly the same technique. You're just changing the stitch you would do like that. So nice and easy. It just gives you a slightly longer stitch and a slightly different texture to it. Okay, like that. Now, once your project is however long you want it to be, so imagine this is going to be a scarf, you change colours just like you would normally, and it's actually very easy to hide the ends in here and just crochet over the ends. I did that with this. So all my ends, I didn't have anything to sew in. They're all hidden in between the 2 rows of stitches. So I just tied them off when I joined it, and then hid the ends in and just crocheted over them. So there was, like, apart from the starting chain one, there was nothing to sew in, which was nice. But if I just take this back a second, actually no, I'll show you on the chunky, because it's easier for you to see. So imagine this is as long as you want it to be. Okay, really nice and long. Bavarian crochet, aka the wool eater. Oh yeah, we could try that. Absolutely. Yeah, I could have a little look at that as well for you. So when you want to finish your project, so whenever it's however long or however big you want it to be, it's just the last row is slightly different. So you're going to chain one. Instead of going back loop only, you're going to go through both. Okay, so you're just going to go underneath those two there. You're going to still pick up that one behind and pull through all of them and then finish off. And what that does, it gives you this nice rounded edge like the beginning. So you're going to go through both, through the back, corresponding loop, pull through, finish off. Okay, and what that does is that gives you, instead of having, so hang on, sorry, got my hands all. So instead of having this ridge here, you're finishing it off nice and flat. Okay, it's pulling it all together. So you would just work through, so through both on the top, find the corresponding, pull through, and that's finishing off. So mega easy. Instead of doing back loop to start with. Oh, I keep splitting this yarn though, it's because it's the end of a really manky old ball. There we go, through both there, corresponding one like that, and then this one is a weeny bit tricky because you've got to find both bits. So there, oh hang on, let's try and see if I can, so you've kind of got to manipulate, can you see it's just there? So I'm going to pick up both sides, that side and, oh come on, that side, and then the corresponding bar just there like that, pull through all three like that and finish off. And then I just cut my yarn and sew in my ends, but you've got that nice finished edge then, which looks like the bottom edge. Okay, so really easy stitch, but it was it was really fun to do. It was a really nice, once you got into the rhythm of it, you know, after it is those first couple of rows, it becomes this horrible little mangled mess, and you think, oh good grief, what am I doing? But it actually grew that only took me about an hour and a half. It wasn't even a whole film. We were watching we were watching Hijack with Idris Elba, and I was finished by halfway through the last episode, so it was an episode and a half, so about an hour and a half to do the whole thing. It grows quite quickly, incredibly thick. All I did was, before I finished off, I just chained it and just so I've got something to hang it up by. So yeah, nice and easy to do. Really nice stitch. I think this would make beautiful scarves, really beautiful scarves, because it would be so cozy, or like a snood or something, or even the rib on a hat. If you were doing like a beanie hat, you could do this as the rib, and then when you get to this point, just start, ignore this back loop and then just start doing like the crown of the hat, and you'd get that lovely thick chunky rib, warm rib round your face. So that's it, my darlings. Nice and quick today, nice little easy one. But a really nice little stitch to have a try at. I think it's worth having a go. I like doing a different stitch now and then. I'm just going to try and it does look really simple. It really was, Jean, apart from that very first little bit where it's like, ooh, what's going on? Where's my stitches? Once you've got to row 3, it's very obvious what you're doing. Okay, so have a little go. If nothing else, use up a bit of old chunky and make a quick hot pad for the kitchen. So what else is everyone saying? Beginner coach nails match. Cool. If anyone's got any ideas what they'd like to do, I'm going to make a sort of decision by the end of the week. But if you've got any ideas of what you'd like that new class to be, if there's anything you thought, I really fancy having a go at that, blah blah blah, then absolutely give us a shout. Okay, give us a shout. Drop us a message or comment on the video, and we will have a little look. But we will be announcing a new class probably by the end of the week. Okay, which it will be the 4th of November because that's the only date they've got. But I'll also go get in contact with Pars Rulers as well, and we'll look at a date for the new year to use rulers for machine free motion as well. And we'll look at that. So yeah, I think that was it, my darlings. I don't think I had anything else to tell you. No, I think that's it. So I'm back tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the next instalment of the quilt along. I will put the cutting instructions up this evening for you. But 7 p.m. So for week 4 of the quilt along, it's 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Not tonight, tomorrow night. And then I'm going to do weekly then. So it will be 7 p.m. next week and 7 p.m. the week after, which hopefully should finish it. If not, it will be a fortnight because we'll be away on holiday. We've got 7. We've got this week. We might be doing the border after you've put it all together. In fact, actually having 2 weeks off for you to put all your squares together, and then we'll do the border afterwards. That actually works out okay. Yeah, this is 4, 5. Next week will be 5. The week after will be 6. We're away then the following week, so that it'll be 2 weeks then for the border. So yeah, that's it. But anyway, 7 p.m. tomorrow, and then Sarah's back on Thursday at 1 o'clock. Okay, so nice normal week for a change. I will see you all tomorrow night. Have a lovely day. Hope you're enjoying the sunshine, and speak to you real soon. Take care. Bye.